Firstly, welcome everybody. Thank you for spending the time today with us so we can share our thoughts and hopefully get some feedback from you. And also to actually learn from each other, because I know we've all been through different experiences of using AI and other technologies. So I'm going to actually start by looking at a survey that we did. So we actually surveyed about 1,000 customer experience leaders across the world in 10 countries, across many different industries. And what we found from that survey was that ultimately, despite the massive investment in customer experience solutions, actually customer satisfaction was declining. Over half of customers actually are avoiding self-service solutions. Agents are overworked. Technologies are still very much siloed, despite the investment in cloud technologies everywhere. And overall, customers just aren't very happy. And if you look at some of the stats up there, 25% of customers were happy with their last engagement with their brand, and 94% have abandoned interactions due to poor experiences. So I think one of the things that came out of that survey was just how much investment has gone in. So I think something like, as Forrester said, 70-odd% of companies have spent more on customer experience, and roughly only 15% of them have actually had a return on investment. What that really said to us was that we see that there are some real challenges that brands face. And we've kind of put these as the kind of priorities that we believe that brands need to tackle. First around is actually using AI for self-service. Because a lot of self-service is broken today because it doesn't work, it's legacy technology. We think using AI for the self-service could actually improve that quite significantly. We also think in terms of reducing agent attrition, that's a real big priority, partly also because we do have a workers' crisis today. So wherever you go in the world, it's actually quite difficult to replace AI, to replace agents in general. So reducing attrition is one of the big challenges. And lastly, actually, how do you automate and orchestrate systems? Because one of the other things that we found was that a lot of the issues are because you can't get what you want done through a self-service experience. When we started looking at how would we help businesses tackle all this, we actually focused, though, on the idea that over the next few years, in a world where there is a lot of political, economic, and technological uncertainty, that we want to help brands and our customers build trusted relationships with their customers. And we think we can help them do that by helping them build interactions that are more thoughtful, more effective, and more human. And I'm just going to go into what we mean by this. So by more thoughtful, we really want to get the idea that when there's an issue with the service, that you tell your customers that you've got an issue with that service. And you personalize it on the communication or the channel of choice that that customer actually wants. And probably most importantly, you anticipate their needs. So if they've run out of data, if interest rates have gone up. Now, I know many of you in the audience actually do a lot of proactive communications, but one of the biggest bottlenecks in proactive communications is the integration with back-end systems. And that's one of the things that we think we can definitely help with. But we also want to help our customers make more effective interactions. And we really contrast between being effective and efficient. And effectiveness is when you actually get an interaction that leads to an intent that gets the job done. What we realized was that in the last few years, a lot of organizations are focused on efficiency, the efficiency with which you actually answer a phone call. So rather than answer a phone call in 30 minutes, you answer it in 5 minutes. But if at the end of that experience, the customer still gets the message that we'll get back to you in 7 days, or that we're going to raise a ticket on your behalf, that doesn't actually solve the problem. And our view, again, is that technology is expanding at such a rate that you should be able to fulfill intents as well as recognize them. And by more human, what we mean is actually how can we be more empathetic to customers using the technologies that we do. So understand them when they're stressed, actually help them solve the problem that they need to get solved, and to personalize the interaction, because fundamentally you know more as much about that customer, and you can actually therefore use that data to personalize and be empathetic to that customer. And one of the things about RCS, which is what we're going to talk about a lot today, is when you look at RCS, and how many people have actually used RCS in the audience? Okay, so roughly half. So one of the things about RCS is, and one of the reasons why we're big believers in it, is because we do think it can help our brands and our clients be more thoughtful, effective, and human. This is an example of a fraud alert. Now, again, one of the things about fraud alerts is they've actually obviously been happening quite a lot over the years. But this, because you can brand RCS, it does mean that you actually instill a bit more confidence in the customer that it's coming from their trusted source. And also, by virtue of RCS having easy reply buttons, it also increases the ability for customers to actually respond to your brand when there is an issue. Another example of how RCS is leading to higher engagement is this example here, where essentially by putting a branding on, by having buttons, you increase the conversion rate and the engagement rate of RCS, of your customer interaction. And then, actually, this was a case study that we published around how Southwark Council were using RCS to collect money. And they actually had, despite the use case being collecting money, they had customers feeling more reassured because they were given more options on how to pay. And actually, it did actually increase the amount of money they were collecting. So, you know, there'll be plenty of use cases today, and I know Nick's going to talk about them later as well. But RCS as a medium for communication, it still needs a bit more reach, but it's definitely helping our customers be more effective, human, and thoughtful in their communication. Now, what we actually also believe is that in order to create a great customer experience, you need to have 3 different workloads working seamlessly together. So the idea of proactive communications, let customers know what's going on with their service and anticipate their needs. AI agents and human agents, contact centers. Now, one of the things that we've actually done recently is we've embedded AI across all of our different parts of technology. And my excitement about the next few years is not just because of RCS, it's also because RCS with AI is something that I think is going to actually transform the communication landscape. And so in terms of where we've embedded AI, if you look at on the proactive journey side, so some of the work, again, I know that many of you will do, we think using AI to create different types of messaging and optimize messaging, using AI to help integrate back-end systems with code snippets. In terms of human agents, AI can help summarize and actually route calls more effectively. It actually helps supervisors with coaching agents so that you actually get they stick to a particular script. So there's all sorts of uses for AI across the entire gamut of our portfolio and across the gamut of customer experience in general. We also benefit as Cisco from AI being in our core platforms around noise reduction, around translation, and all sorts of things that the guys in San Jose are working on. But I thought I'd rather just show you an example of what we've actually announced recently and what we are going to essentially have in the market early next year. So this is actually an example of an AI agent at work.
I'm going to be demoing the new Webex AI agent for Evergreen Bank. So let me just call, and I'll put it on speaker.
Hi there. Thank you for calling Evergreen Bank. I am an AI customer service agent. What can I help you with today?
There's a charge on my credit card that I didn't make.
I'm sorry to hear that. I can help with that. Can you please verify your birthday and zip code associated with the credit card?
Sure. It's May 25th, 1987, and my zip code is 94008.
Okay, thanks. There are 5 recent transactions. I can go over them with you.
Actually, I can just tell you the charge was $900 at the Sports Superstore. Do you see that transaction?
I see a charge for $898.21 made at Sports Superstore on October 8th.
Yep, that was it. Can you remove the charge, please?
I have filed a fraudulent charge report on your behalf. It will be reflected on your account within 24 hours. Would you like me to block future charges on this account?
Yes, I would. And actually, can you just cancel the card and send me a new one?
Yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. Your new card will arrive in 5 to 7 business days.
Okay, I'm going to need the card to come this week. Do I have any options for that?
I'm happy to say we do have the option to expedite shipping. For a small fee, we can get the card delivered by October 19th. Does that work for you?
Yeah, That's perfect. How much is the fee?
The fee for expedited shipping is $20, which will be charged directly to your account. Shall I go ahead and arrange for the faster delivery?
Yep, that's perfect. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I've placed the request for expedited shipping, and you should receive the card in the next 1 to 2 business days. You'll also receive an email with tracking information once it's shipped.
Great, thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm glad we could speed things up for you. Is there anything?
Sorry to interrupt you. I just have one more question. Is my new card going to have the same number as my old one?
No, the new card will have a different card number. If you have any recurring payments or subscriptions tied to your old card, you'll need to update them once you receive your new card.
And what about my rewards balance with my credit card? Is that going to transfer also?
Absolutely. Your rewards balance is tied to your account, not the specific card number, so all of your points or cash back will remain the same. You won't lose anything when you get the new card.
Okay, great. Thanks. That's all I needed.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
So that was pulled together in our AI agent studio using a kind of set of documents that were uploaded as knowledge management and integration into just a very basic back-end system. But what you saw there was you saw firstly natural language being used, and then you also saw interruptions. And you also saw essentially the agent being able to go and interrogate other systems. One of the other things that you saw was when she said it was $900 or something, and the actual agent came back with a precise number. All of this was not scripted. This was basically just put into a Gen AI, an LLM model, and it came out this way. Now, we've got plenty of other examples, but one of the things that I would suggest everyone looks at is that the actual technology to have that kind of interaction is ready today. You know, we're not needing to wait for it. One of the things that we're working on is I still think that there's still a bit more latency than you would want in a real conversation, but actually that latency is also being worked on quite quickly. And one of the problems today is actually not the latency, is actually the voice agent responds too quickly for a conversation. So you actually need to optimize so that you actually get it right to make it mimic a human interaction. So that for us is one part of the vision of actually reimagining customer experience overall. And what we really see is that our mission is really to kind of deliver and provide the tools for our customers to have a frictionless customer journey across the entire life cycle. So helping our customers basically do proactive communication that's thoughtful, and then actually providing a return path to something like a human agent or a reply button that makes it easy to have a text-based conversation. But we do believe now that with LLMs particularly, they were the missing link in technology to actually create great customer experiences with a voice agent. So outbound, inbound could be voice agent, and then there's always the option to take that entire conversation and pass it on to a human agent if that's what you need to actually get done. And after you've passed it on to the human agent, all the recording, how did it go, the CSAT can also now essentially be analyzed to inform the next conversation that happens. So, you know, our belief is in trying to help our customers create that end-to-end customer journey.